the open sky, drinking vodka straight from the bottle. No one knew that this would become his final video. On November 22nd, 2021, Tor Eckhoff went out to film another video at Jakobsdam Lake,
See you there
near
somewhere.
the town of Kongsberg, Norway. As usual, he planned to skate across the frozen surface. But this time, the ice gave way. Tor fell into the freezing water. Witnesses heard his cries for help and immediately called emergency services. Divers managed to pull him out from under the ice shortly afterward. He was airlifted to Ullevål Hospital in Oslo, but despite the doctor's efforts, he couldn't be saved. He had been underwater too long. The news shocked millions of fans. Just days earlier, he had celebrated his birthday and seemed full of life. In his memory, people shared heartfelt messages and stories about how his videos had always lifted their spirits. His longtime partner, Tove Skarven, wrote a touching post on Facebook calling the loss indescribable and thanking Tor for everything they had shared together. Tor Eckhoff was gone, but his spirit, energy, and the videos filled with laughter, ice, and life will live on forever.
I think I'm gonna have to
In
start
May
watching these
2022,
videos with the headphones on though.
YouTuber from the channel The Sky Life decided to film a fishing video in an unusual spot, near the active Phoenix Dam. Warning signs were posted all around, cautioning about danger and forbidding fishing in the water. Officially, 3 loud sirens were supposed to sound before any water release, but he ignored them, thinking the chances of it happening were minimal. At first, everything went great. After a few failed attempts, he started catching large fish one after another, and believed he was about to hook something truly massive and unknown. Then, a loud siren broke the silence. He instantly realized it was a bad sign, and when the second siren followed, he knew the water could start rising at any moment.
Oh my God! I hate to see people go through shit like this. He's saying, oh fuck, but he can't do shit. And he trying to run through the water, but water is dragging his legs. Like, he can't even get out of that.
2 more sirens. Uh-oh. I'm almost back.
He ran across the slippery rocks trying to reach safety, just as the warning signs had described. Despite staying calm, he knew disaster could strike within seconds. When he finally reached a safe area, he noticed the third siren never came. It was a false alarm, possibly triggered on purpose to scare him off the restricted zone. The water never rose, but in the rush, he injured his leg. Another danger the signs had warned about. In the end, he admitted he should have listened to the warnings and reminded viewers to respect safety rules and never fish near an active dam. 28-year-old photographer Jacob Cockle was known as a talented and fearless artist with a deep love for the ocean. His daring attitude and willingness to risk everything for the perfect earned him some of the
nigga, this shit be crazy as fuck when I be seeing some of this shit, bro. Like,
Jacob won a 28,000-pound trip to Antarctica, but before leaving, he wanted to capture one final, perfect shot. Together with his friend David Rain, he went to Karnsø Pool, a location notorious for its powerful whirlpools. Warning signs surrounded the area, strictly prohibiting swimming due to strong currents. But Jacob wasn't the kind to back away from danger. To make his footage even more unusual, he decided to dive into the whirlpool while wearing a plastic horse head mask. On May 28, 2013, he entered the water. At first, he managed to stay safe, skillfully avoiding being pulled under by swimming backward, a trick that let him feel the power of the current without being caught by it. But Jacob wanted more. He wanted underwater shots. Holding his GoPro, he dove beneath the surface to capture his final image and never came back up.
I mean, the light's nice across the water as well. Let me get down lower.
This is what I was just telling Tedsy about, like, white people shit. The white people not scared to death like this, for real. Where black people would instantly bag away from some shit like that. Like, nigga, the water turning. Nigga, we get the fuck up out of that.
When he didn't resurface after several seconds, David panicked. He searched frantically around the pool, even checking the drainage tunnels, hoping the current had carried his friend there, but found nothing. Moments later, he spotted Jacob's body floating face down on the far side of the water. David and a passerby immediately began CPR until rescuers arrived. Jacob was airlifted to the Royal Cornwall Hospital, but doctors could no longer save him. According to the coroner, the cause of death was drowning. It was ruled an accident, a tragic end for a skilled swimmer who knowingly took one risk too many. July 12th, 2025.
What the fuck? He's
Krasnoyarsk Krai, Russia.
if
An
you
extreme
hit the
sports
water
enthusiast
like that,
attempted a 92-foot jump
they
into
say
a
it's
lake
like hitting
located in
concrete
London.
if you fall from too high.
Footage from the scene,
You
recorded
gotta
by
basically
witnesses,
go
was soon
directly
shared
into the
around
water.
world.
If
The
you hit the
incident took place
concrete
in the
directly on
Krasny
top,
area, a picturesque gorge
somebody
operating towards
they
us.
had
A man
a
leapt into the water from a high cliff
world
in front of his
like a
friends.
world record
During the
jumper.
fall, he
They
failed
used
to
to jump
position his
into.
body correctly and hit the water flat on his stomach. The video shows him trying to stay afloat for a short time before he stopped moving. Other swimmers rushed to help.
Cause
but
his
despite all
fucking
efforts,
organs and
they
shit
couldn't
probably
save him.
was bleeding.
Спасите его! Плывите, спасайте его, блядь, нахуй!
Later, rescue teams confirmed that his body had been found and brought to a nearby hospital. It's worth noting that just a few weeks earlier, a similar incident occurred at the same spot. Another thrill seeker had jumped from the cliff as well, but survived with only minor injuries. June 27th,
Oh
2019.
my god.
Chicago, Illinois. It was a tense day at the 69th Street station on the Red Line. The train operator that day was a veteran. He had been driving trains in Chicago since 2006 and had never been involved in a serious incident. But this day
Not
turned out to be
Chicago.
different. He got distracted. Security footage later showed him looking away from the tracks, smiling and gesturing with his hands, completely unaware of the tragedy that was about to happen. At the same time, 37-year-old Fallon Smith accidentally dropped her phone onto the tracks, right where an incoming train was approaching. The video shows her searching for it, and when she finally spotted the phone, she immediately decided to climb down and retrieve it. A nearby security guard shouted for her to get off the tracks, but with the noise of the station, it's unclear whether she heard him. She managed to grab her phone and ran toward the emergency stairs, but it was too late. The operator was still distracted, not watching the rails. Suddenly, his expression changed. He realized what had happened, but by then, it was over. The train struck Fallon Smith, killing her instantly. On July 3, 2019, the Chicago Transit Authority announced that the operator had been fired for violating safety procedures. Surveillance footage clearly showed he had neglected his duties, though it remains uncertain whether he could have stopped the train in time, even if he'd noticed her sooner. Her sister, Randy Smith, was outraged, not only by the operator's actions, but also by the inaction of bystanders and security staff.
Because they should have just helped her up. Right.
18 seconds of her life was like, but I'm traumatized. I'm hurt. I'm disappointed.
Sadly, incidents like this are not uncommon. Over the years,
This shit
several
is
serious
sad as
accidents have occurred
fuck.
on Chicago's rail system. In 2014, for instance,
Yeah, I ain't
a
going to
Blue Line
Chicago on
operator
that
fell
rail
asleep
system.
as his train entered O'Hare Station. The train overran the platform and slammed into the escalator, injuring more than 30 people.
What
Despite
the
advances
fuck?
in safety and awareness, accidents, though now rarer, still happen, serving as a harsh reminder of the ever-present risks of rail travel. Evening by the Sea, an open-air concert in Banten Province, Indonesia, December 22nd,
I'm about to click
2018.
that right after this one right here. Right after this incident, whatever this is. I'm gonna click that link.
People were relaxing, sitting at tables, enjoying the music. On stage, the band 17 was performing. Nothing hinted at what was about to happen. In just seconds, everything turned into chaos. A massive wave crashed directly onto the stage. The lights went out, the stage collapsed, and screams filled the air. It all unfolded right before the audience's eyes, and the cameras were rolling. The footage looked like something out of a disaster movie, except this was real. A 16-foot-high tsunami struck the resort without warning. It had been triggered by an underwater landslide following a volcanic eruption. Most members of the band 17, along with their crew and family members, were killed. The only survivor was vocalist Rifian Ifan Fajarsaya, who later confirmed that he had lost all of his bandmates, and his wife.
Oh
The
my
disaster caused
God.
massive destruction across the coastal
God,
regions.
please keep everybody safe.
Hundreds of homes were wiped out. Hotels and boats were damaged, and both Java and Sumatra were severely affected.
We not going
This
to no
tragedy
places
struck
like this.
without warning. A chilling reminder that sometimes disaster gives no time to react. In November
I'm
2019,
glad Florida was.
a student pilot
I
was
was in
performing
Florida
his
and
first
they.
solo flight in a light aircraft, a Cessna 172, a single-engine plane long considered ideal for training thanks to its simple
Buffalo, I'm
and
about to look at
forgiving
it right now.
controls. But this time, something went wrong. While approaching North Perry Airport in Florida, the pilot ran into trouble during landing. The descent wasn't as smooth as usual. As soon as the wheels touched the runway, the aircraft suddenly veered sharply to the right, skidded off the strip, and slid across the grass. The pilot couldn't stop the plane. It tore through 2 runway signs before coming to an abrupt halt. Police and rescue crews arrived within minutes. Fortunately, the pilot survived and was able to climb out of the cockpit on his own without needing emergency assistance. He suffered injuries, but according to official reports, they were minor. However, this wasn't an isolated incident. Since that 2019 crash, several other accidents have occurred at the same airport.
Nigga, what the fuck